Hello and welcome. Thanks for spending part of your day with us today. Today's Tech Tips is about trust issues, staying safe in a world of scams. I'm here to introduce our host, though she's officially dashed my lifelong dream of getting rich with a Nigerian prince. Please join me in welcoming our resident tech savvy truth detector and human spam filter, the only person I trust to tell me whether that email from Microsoft support is legit or just another prince in disguise. Please welcome Jessica Jersak.
Thanks, Alicia. All right, I don't know if I'm a 100% foolproof spam detector, but I'll try. And I'll try to let you guys know how to best stay safe. So today we're going to talk about social engineering and kind of what it is, what it looks like, and some best practices to stay safe and guard yourself against it. So just and that's the agenda. So what is social engineering? Some key trends, common tactics, kind of like I said, what that looks like, and then best practices for staying secure. I will do my best to make sure that we leave some time here at the end for some Q&A. I notoriously talk too much, so hopefully I can squeeze this all in and we can at least have a couple minutes, but our team will be monitoring the chat, so if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in there, and Alicia can respond, or one of our team members will respond. All right, so jumping in. What is social engineering? When I was telling people I was doing this, a lot of people said to me, well, I don't use social media. So it does happen on social media, and what you put into social media can be used as a tool for social engineering, but really what it is the act of manipulating people into doing something you wouldn't. So revealing some personal information, some confidential information, clicking a suspicious link because of some urgency, or granting access to someone because your vulnerable, your human, the human in you has been exploited. You want to hold that door for the person holding all the coffees, but you don't recognize that guy. So what is he doing there? Those sort of things. That's social engineering. It's playing on us as humans. It's plays on our trust, our empathy, our fear of urgency, and our curiosity. 98% of cybersecurity attacks use some form of social engineering. So when we think about that, what are some key trends here and the risks? I'm going to click through all this. I did not realize I had. Here we go. All right, so we've got some common key trends. AI-powered cyber attacks. So AI has made this very, very, very easy for people who are not technically savvy. It used to be, when you heard the term hacker, that was someone who had a ton of technical training. Now with AI, you don't need to, you just have to be very good at prompting and you can get whatever you need. I have a few examples of this here in a couple of minutes that I'll show you, but those cyber attacks can scale and just automate all of these, perfectly designed phishing or uh, smishing, all of those at an incredible speed. And it lowers the barrier for the technical barrier. Supply chain attacks, think about when you go to your DoorDash app, and it asks you if you want to create an account or if you want to sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook, and you pick sign in with Facebook. Now, if Facebook gets compromised, they can get to your DoorDash. So those sort of things, when you think about, how am I tied to all these other things if one spot gets compromised, that sort of thing. And it's used as a pivot point. You can have very strong internal security, but if your partners and the other things you're connected to aren't, then it can cause problems. And then same thing, if DoorDash were to be compromised, it's back to your Facebook. And then how many other things did you use Facebook to sign into? 30% of breaches now involve a third party where they can go through a backdoor like that. This problem is us, human vulnerabilities, exploiting that trust, the curiosity, and just using our inherent human to exploit. And so no technical defense is going to safeguard against that. We just have to train, stay knowledgeable, and make sure that we are questioning and looking for those, you know, social engineering attacks. And then deep fakes. These would be a completely fictitious persona that, can fool anyone. So it makes you think that that person is this person, but it's not. Uh, AI tools can really help with this, which is why you're seeing a lot of this growth. When you think about voice and using AI to maybe replicate a voice. So say someone took a recording of a tech tips I did years ago and grab my voice, but then just that snippet of audio, they can take that, put in a whole script of things for me to say, and now all of a sudden in my voice, they can go ahead and use that to impersonate me. Phishing, which would be voice phishing, is up over let's 1,633%. So, and that's just in 2025. So jumping ahead, what are the tactics? I've mentioned phishing, but there's vishing, which is the phone call. There's smishing, which is your text message, and there's spear phishing, where I target a specific person. So if I know that Alicia loves the Backstreet Boys because I have, skip to number 10, done some reconnaissance on her social media, I'm going to send her a targeted spear phishing attack where she can click this link to win some Backstreet Boys tickets. Pretexting, this is creating an entire false story or identity to gain trust. So pretending to be IT support, impersonating a manager, those sort of things, or claiming to be from the bank and they're the after hours, fraud line, something along those lines. Baiting is offering something tempting, like a free gift, maybe a lost USB drive, lures someone in, that curiosity. I mean, literally, some of these things sound like traditional phishing. We are baiting you, or we, malicious actors, are baiting you. Tailgating and piggybacking. So this is the kind of thing that I was saying in terms of physical security is the person holding all the coffee, or, they've got a million things in their hand. Hey, can you hold the door for me? Sure. What you should do in that situation is, think to yourself. Now, obviously, if you know the person and they work with you, they've already got that. But if you've never seen them before, make sure to, offer. But, take them to where they need to go, offer to hold things while they scan their badge, those sort of things. Quid pro quo, I can fix your computer issues if you just give me your login. Impersonation, posing as someone with authority to appear credible. Um, this can look a lot of different ways. There's certainly some impersonation tactics you can do digitally, but I think some of this is you can also just look important. And if you've seen that in other people before, um, if you look important enough, you can play the role. And so you should always kind of question, ask for credentials before you give anyone your information. Using urgency and fear tactics, your account's going to be compromised, you have to do this, or your bank account's going to be zeroed out, your boss needs this password now, I have to go get those gift cards. When you have those, that should raise a flag. And then, some things never die. Shoulder surfing and physical observation. Remember when we all said, oh, when you're at the ATM, make sure you cover your PIN. Still do that. People are saying, if someone sees your PIN, that is still a way that they can get into your account. And, those are still physical threats are very real. Dumpster diving is the same thing. Make sure you're shredding things that are confidential and that sort of thing. sticky notes with passwords, client documents, old hardware, that sort of thing. And social media reconnaissance. Man, that is a tough word for me, apparently. So this is digging through what you have posted publicly and what you've put out there, and being able to do those kind of spear phishing and targeted attacks using any of these, whether it be baiting or impersonation or any of that. So what does that look like? So I asked Copilot to help me draft a what I wanted to sound like a phishing email. And I said, I need to have help me draft an email to my client letting them know that they've been selected as the winner of our client raffle. And this they've won $250 in Amazon gift cards, but they have to click this link and claim their prize by 5 p.m. today, or we go back to the raffle and we pick another client for tomorrow. And we really hope that you can, click this in time, and I hate for you to miss out. Make sure you claim your gift card. Now, I did this after I asked Copilot to give me an example of a phishing email. They refused to do that, which is good because you don't want to, didn't want any malicious actors getting ahead of it. But then when I asked it to draft it for me, it asked me if I wanted to include a countdown timer and if I wanted to include a big red button that said claim your gift now, to which just kind of shows how easy some of AI can make some of this. There are technical safeguards, but people are smart and they'll ask the question differently. So what you want to look for is there's usually a sense of panic behind it, um, a request that would kind of bypass your normal procedure, exploiting some sort of authority. So, the email from the CEO saying, I need you to go get this now, those sort of things. Write this check now, send this cash now. An uncommon request. If any of you ever got this email from me, I would hope you would give me a call and say, Jess, what is this? Before you click that link. If this is something you weren't expecting, this is uncommon. All of those sort of things should throw up, red flags to you. So this next one, before I click over to it, I had asked one of my colleagues to take my headshot and throw it into AI and create some sort of image pretending to be me as selling timeshare. And so he did so. Now, this was just what came back first. Now, the shoulders are a little broader than mine, but other than that, I was like, this is really creepy. That photo, all he did was put it in and say, hey, can you create an ad for a timeshare for my friend Jess, company name Dino Ventures, make it look like that we've slashed the price, and highlight that it's a path to make money, or how they're investing in it. And this is what popped out. And first it did say we don't have her permission, and so it did pause. There was a safety feature, but then he said I have her permission. I didn't have to give any permission. So there are safety guards, but we're catching up. And so you, the human, need to remember, like, does it seem like Just sells timeshares? Probably not. And where did he get that photo? The Fit Technologies page. There I am on the careers page. We exist on the internet, and so we can be exploited on the internet. Now, imagine this is your favorite celebrity. Imagine this is a politician. We can take the photo of anyone and at this create some sort of clickbait, some sort of way to drag you in. When I say we, I mean malicious actors, but anyone can do that and drag you in to try and trick you into either putting malicious software or malware or things like that onto your workstation or into your accounts and dragging through there. All those things can happen. just with AI and just some of these more sophisticated things, and if we're not careful. So, best practices. Talked a little bit about this, but be suspicious of unexpected contact. So, like I said with that email, be suspicious about that. You were not expecting, you had no idea we were doing this. It seems very odd that we would just randomly pick people and give people $250 in Amazon gift cards. That and the urgency behind it. Like why do I have to do this by 5 p.m.? It's also a ridiculous concept. Don't click any links or attachments if you're unsure. Question. There is nothing wrong with asking the question. Be extra cautious if you get attachments and verify, that verify with the sender, especially if it's unexpected. You weren't expecting someone to send you a document. Ask before you open. Say, hey, what is this? Now we do have safety guards in place on your, workstations that are provided by your company, but on your personal workstation, I don't know what you have in place to protect, from any sort of viruses and things of that sort. So always kind of question, what is this? And be extra cautious if it ever says enable macros on the document that you're opening. And you should verify the identity through a second channel. So if someone's claiming to be, your CEO or a vendor or IT support, verify through a second channel. Here at FIT, we use QuickPass. So if the help desk were to give one of our clients a call or one of our users, then that user could question them and say, how do I know you're fit? And then they can ask to get their identity verification code through QuickPass. And so QuickPass can flip just like we would if the user called in and asked to change their password. We ask them for that QuickPass code. We can flip that the other way around to if they call us, or if the help desk is calling me, I can say, how do I know you're calling? Give me your quick pass code. Use, and I feel like I say this in every single training, but it's very important. Use strong, unique passwords and a password manager, and even better yet, a passphrase. So 3 words, get you to about 16 characters is better than just even a jumble of numbers and letters. It is less predictable. I personally feel like I don't know any of my passwords and I just reset it every time. It's not a bad way. It's very secure sometimes, but I do use a password manager. But every time I have to create a new password, I just look around me and I pick 3 random things I see and then throw them together somehow into a passphrase, throw a few numbers off the top of my head in there, mixed in, done. And it's completely environmental to wherever I was that day. It's a weird, wild system, but because I use a password manager, it works. And I never reuse that same password. Reusing the same password is just like the way, with those connected in the third-party systems. If you're using the same password for your bank and for your, who knows, your credit cards and for your email and your my chart, maybe all of those things, that all becomes exploitable then. Enable MFA everywhere, anywhere you can. If two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication is an option, please enable it. An authenticator app is the best way to do that because there are many ways that you can authenticate through the authenticator app. There are physical keys. You can use YubiKeys that look like this. These are little physical things that you carry with you, so that could be used as a secondary as well if you don't have a smartphone or things like that. But at bare minimum, if all, like, say your bank, the maximum MFA or 2FA that they offer is text message is a less secure way, but it is still something. Make sure you've got some sort of verification at all times. One quick anecdotal story here, as I see I'm getting close. Actually, but I've only got, I'll be good on time. Uh, my dad's friend, he and his wife had come to Thanksgiving, and they were sharing a story about how they were up in Montreal and how I guess Dave had gone walking around, and she was like, "There's a beautiful museum," and I'd gotten a coffee and I sat on the steps, and I was just enjoying the day, and some girl came over and she was talking to me, and we were chatting, and she had sat down next to me on the steps, and then she'd gotten up and walked away. She seemed very lovely. Once Dave got back, she went to get up and then realized, where's my phone? Well, that girl had taken her phone with her, but she used, on her phone, she had one of those phone wallet combos. So now all of her credit cards were with her. And when the phone call came about suspicious charges, she had the phone. Be careful in with those because you want to make sure that you can't give the keys to people as well. So keep an eye on your physical things at all times. Make sure those security things like your phone stay on you. Don't leave them unattended. That's the key to your house. That's the key to your bank. That's the key to all these other things. No matter how safe our passwords are, we still have that final block. So be mindful of oversharing. Don't share whatever, you know, on social media, but just keep it. You don't need to share everything. Um, be careful and think about how much am I sharing that could be used to exploit me or impersonate me. Keep your devices and software updated. I know it's a pain to update your phone. They change things and it's annoying. I'm still mad from a year ago about a change they did to the clock app on on the Android app or iOS, but not iOS, but operating system. I'm still mad about it, but it's very important. The reason that they have those updates is they are putting security patches out there. It is because malicious actors are consistently finding new holes, new ways to get in. Please, please keep your devices and your software updated. When Chrome says I'm going to relaunch in 14 hours, just hit do it now, unless you're in the middle of something. I had Chrome and Edge tell me that this morning, which actually, so you guys might have seen it too. Just do it. Protect your personal and financial info. Lock it down as much as you can and report suspicious attempts. Send it, if it's an email, something like that, send it into FIT, give us a heads up. But really, one of the most important things, and this is kind of what I'll leave you with, is the best way, especially when you think about within your organization, but even personally, security is a team sport and early reporting is critical. If you did click that link, if something did happen, this is a no judgment zone. Give us a call immediately. If you know, like, if something looks weird, give us a call. It stops attacks that are in progress. When we get that early report, it can reduce damage. It can prevent high client impact. The most serious incidents always start small, and then they grow when no one speaks up. We don't ever want to hesitate because of fear of getting in trouble that you had clicked that link. People make mistakes, and like I said, it is becoming so difficult. They're very good at what they do. This is their job, and they're good at what they do. And you should not ever fear that you would get in trouble for reporting it. If anything, it would be that you would get in trouble for not reporting it and preventing. And fast reporting just shortens attackers' time to be able to dig in and root out all that data from you. So I hope this isn't too scary, but I hope that you kind of gained a little bit more knowledge on kind of what social engineering is and how it plays to our human trust and empathy. And I hope that this gave you something to think about, something to share with your friends and family, and make sure. I know I'm constantly hearing from my mom, how am I supposed to tell what's AI or what's not? That, it's okay to question that and to ask other people and say, is this real? So yeah, if it's a cat video though, just enjoy the cat video. It's a funny cat video. Bugs Bunny's not a real bunny either, those sort of things. So, all right, any questions? Otherwise, I can let you guys go. Thank you so much for giving me some of your Friday here. Thanks for joining us for the start of 2026 Tech Tips, and I'll pass back to Alicia.
That was awesome, Jess. Thank you very much. I completely understand the urgency. I mean, Backstreet Boys tickets, $250 in gift cards. Who doesn't need that right now? So I get it. I would probably, it's hard not to get your heart racing and think, I need this, I want this. But it's important, to stay vigilant, stay sharp, stay one step ahead of those scams, stay skeptical on what you see. I mean, believe that little tickle in the back of your neck. Um, and I appreciate you, Jess. It was super informative. So thank you again. And just a reminder to everyone out there, there is a survey link in the Q&A. If you guys want to go ahead and fill that out, let us know how we did. And there will also be, we'll be emailing a link to the training so you guys can tune in, get those stats again if you need them. If you had a question or you want to dive deeper, you'll have those materials available to you. Thanks for joining us on our first Tech Tips of the year. That's right. And we hope to see you again at the next month. So appreciate you guys all. Jess, is there anything else?
That's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Have a
Bye.
nice weekend.